What's up guys, Matt here, bringing you a brand video. For today, in today's video, as you can see, is my Silverstone highlights for round 4 of the WOR Championship on F1 2019. And after a very entertaining but also at the same time gut-wrenching race in Canada, I was very keen to strike back and hopefully challenge for the win around Silverstone. Silverstone, as we saw last time in AOR, can cause, very frustrating races for all. It's a very unique circuit on this game in terms of the challenges of ERS management, engine management, track position being essential, strategy as well. Those are the key elements to try and fight for the win, because overall, driving wise, it's quite an easy track. But as you can see from last season, AOR, the DRS trains are very easily formed around here. So yeah, let's go straight to, well, before the qualifying, let's go through the setup that I used. Here we are, just going to go through the setup for this race. The preparation for this race was not very good. I didn't do much, and whatever setup I tried, it just didn't quite work for me. I don't know what it is with this track. I feel like there's no grip. I don't know if it's my wheel setting, so I actually opted just for a TT setup and basically bumped the rear wing from 6 to 7 and bumped the rear ride height from 3 to 4, and I think I lowered the rear anti-roll bar. So just basically taking a time trial setup and just making a few tweaks. Again, I feel reluctant to share this because I don't think it's the optimal setup, but given the lack of preparation I had, this was the end result. The pace in the race was pretty good with the setup, so I'd like to think you'll make a significant step forward from the default setup, but again, not quite the most dynamic and fast ultimate setup like I shared in Canada. But I just felt like I should just share the setup anyway, and maybe it will help. Even if it helps one or two of you, that's good enough for me. So yeah, let's see what we can do here at the British Grand Prix.
When you're ready, let's go.
See, we are in qualifying, getting ready to do our first run of the session, and weather conditions for the session was dry conditions, overcast, with a huge chance for a threat of rain towards the latter stages of the session, around 15 minutes, so critical to get some early laps in on the board. And it's a dry race as well. I was pretty disappointed to actually not have a wet race, because my dry pace was not where I wanted it to be, and I feel like the wet weather, overall the wet weather on this game is a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable to drive than the dry conditions on this game, and the pace was looking pretty good. But yeah, this is what we're being dealt with right now, and obviously with the threat of rain we need to get a good lap in. PB was a 25.6 without slipstream, but yeah, that it felt like a worldy lap to be honest. And yeah, let's see what we can do as bank lap as we go down the back straight, DRS wide open. This corner you want to be braking on the curb to open up the corner at 27.1 first sector, which is not particularly fast. We hit the apex of that corner, but we got to quite a tight line to Luffield. It wasn't optimal through there, getting quite late on the power, but nevertheless not losing the rear and getting good traction heading towards Cops. Taking a large release resistance on the right hand side, again touching the curb to open up the corner. You want to use as minimal steering input as possible to scrub off as little speed as possible. Shifting into 8th, oh no, we're leaving in 7th gear. Markets it back, it's 190 miles an hour in the apex. You want to take quite a tight line into this sequence of cars to open up the exit, use the curb on the left hand side. It's been quite a tentative lap, but nevertheless a 102.6 middle sector, as the first times I've been set on the board all rounders of a 26.0. Quite a tight entry, run a little bit wide in the exit there still, as I believe Carl Mitchell's flying, and he has set the fastest lap of a 25. He's matched my PB on his banker lap. That is incredibly quick from the Canadian. Coming on the last corner now, here's a 26.1 as our banker lap. It's a lap time, nothing to get too excited about, but with the threat of rain, it's crucial to get that early lap in. See, we are on our second run, keen to improve on that first lap, and I believe at the moment we're down in 5th place, but yep, we need to be on the front row if we want to challenge for the victory. It's coming on the last corner now to start our second lap, and as you can see, the rain has started to fall. You can see on the halo and on the cockpit, rain droplets are forming just as we're starting our second lap. So it's critical now. We just gotta keep pushing, try to ignore it, and hope the track conditions don't change too much to a point where we lose performance, and the track gets saturated, but nevertheless we've set a decent first sector using that first gear for that extra rotation into the second sector now, braking on the curb, taking a much tighter line, which has opened up the entry for Luffield when compared to our previous lap. Now I felt like I was driving better, but I could see on the delta time I was just losing time. I was just like, oh, here we go. It's been a bit too late now. As we enter Maggots and Beckett's, again, just I felt like I was driving a lot better, but I was getting no performance because the rain is starting to fall and we're just losing lateral grip. Coming around the last corner and you see we're half a tenth down, a tenth and a half down, and yeah, it looks like the track conditions are starting to deteriorate very slowly. And yeah, 26.2, we do not improve on our run, and maybe the track conditions will dry up at the end of the session, but it is unlikely. We're down in 6th place now. That is not good for first 3 races we've qualified in the front row, and it's looking like today we're going to be in for a much more difficult race. And as you can see, the track conditions are completely deteriorated. You can see the rain falling and only one car is on track now. Everyone has retired, and I don't think he's going to improve on those red wall tyres. So 6th place, oh dear. So it is Carl Mitchell on pole position by quite a comfortable margin of 1:25.6. That is a mighty banker lap around Silverstone, and he is the only man in 25s, with his teammate CRG, the championship leader, in 2nd place. So we've got quite a few cars between us and the victory. We've got our work cut out, but yeah, we'll see. Well, the race pace is normally a lot stronger than qualifying, so fingers crossed we can get a good start, get DRS, then it's a long race and you never know. So yeah, let's go straight to the grid. See, we are in 6th place as the 5 lights about to go out now. We need a good start here. It's critical for our chances for the win. Normally our starts are pretty good, and lights down, away we go. And again here in Silverstone, we get an almighty launch. We've already taken Pinecone into turn 1. Jam Pancakes a little bit tentative into turn 1. Compromised by CRG. Look, this will open the door for Pinecone on the outside line. We have a look up at the inside. Jam Pancakes went in very, very deep there. Got the outside line for this left-hander. Try and go all the way around the outside. There's been a bit of contact for your breast. We're side by side with the Alfa Romeo. We need good traction. We need good purchase. We're side by side. Can we make this move stick? Yes, we can. Up into 4th place. We've got some decent straight line speed using the slipstream of all-rounder, and we're up into 4th place now. So 2 positions gained on the first lap. So it's Williams, Force India, Red Bull, Alfa Romeo complete the top 5. So right now, let's just head down, get that DRS. You know, it is so critical, with the majority of the track being full throttle, and the pace as Carl Mitchell shown in qualifying, it's going to be a tall order. We're already using 40% of our ERS early doors. Again, just trying to get some confidence. It is a lot different to qualifying in the race. You know, got 29 laps of fuel, got tyre carcass temperatures on sim, very high stress on this opening lap. But yeah, these 3 are very, very quick, looking at the practice sessions we did. So here we are on lap 2, and as you can see, Carl Mitchell is reflexing his muscles, trying to get away. But it's looking like we've got the DRS in all round, which is critical. We've got Jam Pancakes in our rear view mirrors. Don't think it was critical to get past him because obviously he's on the controller, and yeah, that helped us get DRS on these 3. And a safety car for the 4th race in 4 races has been deployed. How has it been deployed around Silverstone? Like, how? It's such a wide track. Only in this league we can bring out a safety car. Now this is a critical moment in the race, because the strategy going to this was soft, medium, going onto the medium compound tyres on lap 10 maybe? I can't remember. But obviously can't go onto mediums to the end of the race for me, it's impossible. So the option was to either stay out, pit for mediums, or do your pit stop now and go onto a set of hard compound tyres. The hard compound tyres is a slower tyre, but the pit stop round here is 30 seconds. You know, it's quite a unique sort of, well, the pit lane time is normally 20 seconds. So most tracks I would just stay out. But this track, the pit lane's so long, you're going to have to pit. But the top 3 have stayed out. We've carried on into the pit lane to go onto the hard compound tyre. So I was really surprised by this decision by the others. Normally in these scenarios with strategy, you have a gut instinct. You know you've either done a Ferrari and shut the bed, or you've pulled off a masterclass. And I felt really confident in my decision right now. And, you know, I felt like I was a provisional leader. Like, there's no way the guys ahead can go to lap 10, pit for mediums, and catch us back up whilst losing 30 seconds. They've got to pull a massive gap in the stint. And yeah, so I thought, right, game on. You know, after showing not quite the level performance that we've had shown in previous races, I felt I was the net leader. And seeing CRG Pinecone behind me, the reigning champion, he's normally quite a measured driver. That gave me even more confidence in my decision. So right now under the safety car, my fuel was like 3.5, so you can see here just revving out the engine, trying to burn some fuel. But in this corner here, I revved it out, lost the rear, cut the corner, and I mean, the game gave me an instant 5-second penalty. That was my first warning. It's just classic Codemasters, isn't it? I mean, you can annihilate Stowe on a qualifying lap and not get a warning, but you cut that corner under the safety car, instant 5-second penalty. The safety car gets brought in now, and what is going on here? Antoine hits the back of a Toro Rosso, I think. He's now damaged his wing. There's more contact there, so we've gained another place. So we go racing here in Silverstone, 20 laps to go. Every single car in front of us has to make a pit stop. So right now we're in prime position. Obviously I can't get too complacent because we can't build up. Don't want to get the leaders to build up a massive gap, or else they'll potentially catch us on the mediums, but it's highly unlikely. But that's going to help us massively if the McLarens make contact and one of them goes wide. And yeah, I was just really trying to get dialed into these hard compound tyres. I've never driven the hard compound tyre around here, and it didn't feel good initially. Not a lot of grip. You need a lot of lateral grip in these high speed corners, and obviously it's difficult to generate heat into these tyres. But nevertheless, looks like we've got a good traction purchase coming off Beggart's in the slipstream of Clenzo. Go to the inside line. He's got slipstream on the Renault, but looks like we've still got some decent straight line speed despite running 2.7 wings up the inside into Stowe. And critically, we've got a car between ourselves and Pinecone. This is just like in Montreal, just making sure picking off these cars wisely, not losing too much time. And now we've got target lock on the Renault round the outside turn 3. This is one of my favourite overtaking opportunities because you got the DRS now for down the main straight whilst getting track position. But looks like he's hanging out nicely around the outside. He's not giving up without a fight, this guy, into overtake. And it looks like the Renault's got decent straight line speed. You can see on the front left he's actually damaged his end plate. And we've got down on the inside here, being very, very kind there on the giving him a lot of space, which I kind of regret, but getting good traction purchase around the outside, and critically got a car between ourselves and CRG Pinecone as the Renault. No, we don't have a car between ourselves and CRG Pinecone because Darkbeam just pulls over and lets him through. So yeah, brilliant. Looks like he wants Pinecone to finish ahead of me or something, I don't know. But yeah, now I've got target lock on the McLaren of T10 Smasher. Hopefully it doesn't smash into me as we go down the back straight now. Slipstream. DRS has not been enabled. I think I've got good drive. Down the main straight. And again we've got another opportunity to get a car between ourselves and Pinecone almost making contact with him there. That was my bad. Put up the inside. And we're up into, I don't know what position, but we're still in provisional first as we enter lap 10. Unfortunately, we have not been able to break DRS on the Silver Arrow of CRG Pinecone. And my plan right now is to basically let him go. As you can see, we've got 30% ERS, and use the DRS to save ERS and maybe attack him in the latter stages of the race. Sounds like a good plan, but unfortunately that plan was shafted by Codemasters.
DRS will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out. We can work on a fix remotely.
Like, why is this a thing online? I hate this so much. I can understand DRS failures, you know, being, you know, great in a career mode because obviously it's, you know, it's immersive. It happens once every 3 years in real life F1, but this has no place in the multiplayer. Like, it just doesn't. Yeah, because I'm basically, drivers are getting punished through literally by pure luck. Luckily it's closed and not open, especially around Silverstone, so the plan was to let him go, but obviously I can't let him go because without the DRS he could potentially pull away. So you see there's a Williams in the pit lane. Look, he's getting serviced, so it just shows you, well, we've got a massive undercut from starting up for pitting for the hards. So right now the strategy that we went on was the correct one. It is now going to be a 2-horse race for this victory. But yeah, I couldn't just let him go because he could potentially pull away from us because he was definitely, you know, 1 or 2 tenths a lap faster than us. But on lap 13 he made a move down the inside. And as you can see, this is the 3rd lap without DRS, and it's just... so right now this is going to be a critical stage in the race to try and stay with him, use the slipstream. And you can see DRS is still offline. I mean, again, lap 14, still offline, got 17% ERS, so we are literally 1 or 2 tenths away from kissing our race goodbye. But as you can see, he ran wide there at Cops. And this is where the setup, this is one of the strengths of the setup. It was very, very good through the high speed corners. It was a bit slow on the straights, but yeah, just desperately, still no DRS, and lap 15, still no DRS, and he's around 9 tenths in front now, so we're going to have to absolutely nail this section, because we've got 14% ERS, and if you go below 20 you start losing power, and as you can see here, just nailing the apexes, getting a tight line to this car, actually cutting it, sacrificing a warning to get, and as you can see we've got the DRS, critical sector there. And now we can just try a horn back in, try save up some battery, but we're going to need to save a lot of ERS to catch him up. So lap 18 of the British Grand Prix, all the pit stops have been completed. As you can see, we've got an absolutely massive lead over the Williams, who are currently in 5th and 6th position. But I was still really, still a little bit concerned about them because we're going like a second a lot quicker than us. And I desperately needed to beat the Williams of Carl Mitchell and CRG Lutt to keep my championship hopes alive. Lap 19, and the lap times were starting to drop now because Pinecone was actively trying to slow down to let me overtake him, I think. Because I was behind him for 9 laps, he thinks I was saving like a lot of battery, but I wasn't, because I was hanging on for dear life because my DRS break. So seeing the Williams rapidly close in, seeing him back me up, I knew I had to make a move and try and pass him because I didn't want to get involved in these games and potentially backing ourselves up into the Williams pairing of Mitchell and Lutt. And we're back into the lead of the British Grand Prix. And now we just got to try and get our head down and potentially try and break DRS, or, you know, try and control the race, because I wanted to be in control. As we're on lap 20 now, Shadow has retired from the race. Will that bring out a safety car? As another car's retired, so no idea what's going on there. Will that be a safety car? Of course there will be a safety car. Virtual safety car has been deployed. So this is kind of a good and bad situation for me because I can save ERS, but obviously being on the hard compound time, I'm going to lose a lot of temperature, which could open the door for the other guys on mediums to potentially close in. And I've got to make sure I've got to nail this restart. But as you can see, coming to the chicane now, I've gone well over the delta, 6 tenths and no penalty. And as you can see, we've gained a massive amount of time on the silver arrow of Pinecone. That could be a critical moment in the race, but yeah, this is a common glitch in the game under the virtual safety car. Basically, all the guys who aren't hosts to the lobby can literally go whenever. So you see, got a replay there, went over 7 tenths over the delta, no penalty. CRG Pinecone was the host of the lobby, and he can't go over that delta by over a millisecond, or else he'll get a penalty. So at this point, I felt a bit guilty. I feel like I gained an unfair advantage, so we're going to be a good sportsman, as you can see, lifting off the throttle, undoing or negating the advantage gained under the VSC, and we're going to give him back DRS. You're probably thinking that's like a death sentence, giving CRG Pinecone DRS because he can save ERS, but yeah, I gain no satisfaction from winning races and, you know, gaining an advantage through the fault of the game. You know, at the end of the day, the safety car's meant to neutralise the race, and that wasn't neutralising the race, and it's a glitch that needs addressing. I feel like most people aren't really talking about it that much. Hopefully, you know, on the next game, the stewards and league coordinators will clamp down on that, or maybe just remove it altogether. So lap 23, pushing very hard, a 29.5 on 20 lap old hards. I mean, normally on mediums it's like 28, so low 29, so we tried gunning it, but as you can see, the arrow is still there. He is still behind us. This guy is rapid, Pinecone, honestly, especially when he's on it. and we're really having to fight tooth and nail. You can see we're losing ERS. He's gaining again on the penultimate lap of this race. He is right on our tail, and I felt a sense of inevitability as he's right on the back of us now. He's going to have more power, saving that ERS barrier in my slipstream. But I felt it was still the right decision to pass him because I had to beat the Williams, and if you told me before this race I'd be in this position, I would have taken it. But right now, as you can see, using no ERS, we've gone below 20%. That means we're going to lose power on the straights, going defensive on the inside line, locking up. We've got some ERS to play with, but he is right on the back of us now, trying to get a good exit, putting the power down, and he's there. We're in big trouble here. All we can do is park in the middle of the road, using overtake. He's gaining, he's got so much momentum down the outside, he's already ahead, so we can't close the door, and he's got the inside for Luffield, and Pinecone takes the lead of the British Grand Prix here on the final lap. But it is not over yet. We've got a good exit from Luffield. The run towards Cops, into overtake, in the slipstream of CRG Pinecone. He defends the inside line, trying to go right round the outside still. That is not going to work, so I'm going to back off. Look at this, right on the back of him now, trying to put as much pressure as possible into Maggots and Beckers. We've got a warning for causing a collision. We need to get a good run through here. We've maybe got a bit too close there. Trying to get a good exit. That's going to understeer onto the grass. We've had to bail out, and it is over. GG's. As we've thrashed our steering wheel in frustration. Another victory has slipped away here in Silverstone. I mean, if you told me before the race I would beat the two Williams and come second, I would have taken it, but losing the win on the final lap there is never a good feeling. But a deserving winner in CRG Pinecone, myself in second place. We both had time penalties, but they both will get removed, and Pinecone will take the victory here in Silverstone. Myself in second, and I believe it will be Carl Mitchell in third. So this was the provisional classification. I actually took the victory, but Pinecone had a 10-second penalty and will get that removed. Myself will be in second, Carl Mitchell in third, Lot would be fourth, with Top Tom in fifth. Crescito, Pancakes, Morso, Cleanso, Smasher complete the top 10. So a frustrating ending, but nevertheless a decent haul of points against our title rivals CRG Lut and Carl Mitchell. But we need to start getting back to winning ways like we did in Australia for the next round, which will be the Belgium Grand Prix in Spa. So hopefully enjoyed that. Again, Silverstone does not really provide the greatest of action racing on this game due to the DRS trains and just the overall characteristics of the circuit. But nevertheless, hopefully enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, subscribe for more, as I will be uploading more highlights. Belgium Grand Prix next. Let's hope we can strike back and claim the top step of the podium. But GG's to CRG Pinecone on the win, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.